Hello. It's been about 3 years since I last uploaded a video on here. Clearly so active on YouTube. I really have a life. So much has happened in 3 years. But anyway. If you have seen the videos that actually show my face, you'll notice that I look a bit smaller. And I've lost a lot of weight. I'm much smaller than those videos. And that's why I'm here. I'm going to talk about it. There is some backstory. So if you really want to get to the part where I talk about my weight loss, I will leave a timestamp in the description below. But I'm going to get started now. I've been big my whole life. That's just how it's been. I noticed, and I always knew, but I was never seriously bothered by it. And really in high school, I would try diet things. Junior high and high school, I would try these little diets that either my parents put me on or I just figured I can do it this way and lose some weight. But I would never really put a full effort into it, and really I was fine. My weight didn't bother me that much to where I figured I needed to lose weight. It really didn't get until college I started putting on a lot of weight. And part of what dragged me into it was that the body positivity movement. I hate to say it, I'm probably gonna get hate for it, but I mean that's really what promoted me to be unhealthy. And yeah, I found some self-love and some confidence in myself when I was bigger at 250, 260. But I mean, I was eating whatever I wanted, and I knew I was not healthy. I wasn't healthy. What really did me in though was in November 2016. My dad had told me he was diagnosed with cancer, and I love my dad. My dad is my best friend, and that kind of spiraled me out of control. And it was my senior year of college, so I was taking on a lot. I did 16 to 18 units in that, each quarter in that year. I was trying to graduate. I was working either equivalent of 2 jobs or actually working 2 jobs. I had a class that was basically like a job. And I was using work to avoid going home and to avoid seeing my dad. And I was also using food for that too. But my eating was all screwed up. I would have family meal. Because I'm talking about winter 2017 because this is the most vivid time I realized my bad habits. So in winter 2017, I had this restaurant class, and we would have family meal at about 10:30, and I would eat then. I wouldn't eat breakfast. I would just have my coffee in the morning, and then I would eat at 10:30, and I would eat a lot. I would go through service. Class would end around 3 o'clock or so. And then if I had, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would have concert band, and then I would have a cooking class right after that. So I would eat during the cooking class. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I usually had work. Well, Tuesday, not so much, but Thursday, Friday, I would have work right after. So I wouldn't eat between class and work. I would sometimes get off about 9, 10 o'clock. And then I would hit up a drive-thru and order way too much food and just eat. That's all I did. And especially if it was a weekend, I would just eat until 2 in the morning and then go to sleep. It was not good. And during this time, I noticed my knees and my back were starting to give out, but it hadn't gotten bad. But during that summer between graduating college and going to culinary school, I was starting to have a lot of back problems. I would sit incorrectly and I would throw my back out, and I'm what is going on? Like, and I didn't think it was weight related. I really didn't. And I never brought it up when I went to a doctor's appointment. But I did notice, like, my period was getting really irregular. Like, I noticed I was going, like, I think the longest I went without, like, my longest cycle was 86 days. And I brought it up to my doctor, and she was, like, saying, oh, we could prescribe you birth control. I don't remember the other causes, but I remember her saying my weight could have something to do with my irregular periods. And I was like, I figured you'd say that. Like, I didn't really want to go on birth control, so because I'm the only one in my family that doesn't take any medication, and I'm oddly proud of that. So I was like, no, I don't see why I need to go on birth control. I'm not sexually active. But that was one thing that was like, you need to change. So I moved away to culinary school. I went from living in Southern California to living in Napa Valley, which is like all the way upstate. It's a good 8-hour drive from where I live. And it was hard. It was my first time being away from home, and around October we had the Napa fires, and I had to evacuate, and I was a mess. And I realized that I really need help, like mental help. And I started going to therapy, and that was one of the stepping stones into losing weight. What really kicked it off was that I had a class that talked about nutrition. And that, I don't know what exactly like made something click, but it was like, okay, if I eat this way, I can be healthy. And I realized that I really didn't know how to feed myself. I really didn't. I was terrible. Typical millennial, right? But, so I started eating a little healthier, and I started incorporating things that I had learned in my nutrition class into my diet. And I remember I went home at Thanksgiving and I weighed myself, and I was about 255. And then when I went home for Christmas, I was about 250. And I went, okay, so I lost weight. And this is the first time I hadn't tried to lose weight, and I did magical. And it was a good amount. Like, yeah, okay, 5 pounds is water weight, but that was a big amount to me. So, and that, I was also at that point where I figured, it's a new year. Yeah, it's a resolution, and a lot of people fail their resolutions, but I think this year I'm just going to try to be healthy. Like, mentally, emotionally, physically, I just want to be healthy. I didn't have a weight loss goal set in mind, and the whole thing wasn't about weight loss in the beginning. It was more about, how do I feel? Like, do I feel good? If I don't feel good, what's the cause? Is it my mental health? Do I feel bloated? That's just an example. Anyway, so it started off as that, and the weight just kept coming off. I kept eating healthy. I kept taking care of myself, and the weight came off. And now, the heaviest I ever weighed was 260. Now I weigh 179 pounds. So every now and then I get a 178.8, but my weight, the little ounce, 2 ounces, 0.2 pounds is really just water weight, and me not really strictly sticking to my diet. So I know that's on me. But yeah, I just started taking care of myself, and I'm in the best shape I've ever been in a while. The sweatshirt's a men's large. I remember in 8th grade I started wearing men's XL shirts, and I wore men's XLs forever. when I was at my heaviest, I wore a women's 3X. Excuse me. I wore a women's 3X. Now I wear a women's large, and I wear a men's medium. Pant size. When I was at my heaviest, I was a size 20, on the verge of a size 22. Now I'm a size 16. I'm size 16, getting closer to size 14, which is pretty awesome. I can't recall like measurements wise, like what I lost, like in my chest and my stomach, my hips. I also didn't measure them at the start of this, so I have measurements from like February 2018, but I don't know where they are right now. But it's been a journey, and I feel great. So what I hope to get out of this is like I want to help anyone that's struggling with their weight, whether you're like my age. I'm 23, but you're my age. If you just want help losing weight, if you're in the restaurant industry, because really, like, if you're in the restaurant industry, I completely understand, especially if you're culinary, because that's what I do. I'm a cook. So if people in the culinary industry, we have terrible eating habits. Like, I'm gonna say it flat out, we do. We work long hours, weird hours. Our sleep times get screwed up constantly. Like, I just went from working night shifts to morning shifts, and it took a while for my whole body to adjust. It went into shock. It was weird. Not like bad shock, but like it was like, oh, we gotta readjust. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of scatterbrained. But yeah, we eat a lot. We eat really fatty foods. Sometimes we get off late and all that's available to us is fast food. Like, that's just how it is. And a majority of the times we're just too tired to really cook for ourselves and to be healthy about it, you know? So, or sometimes like it's financial. Like, I'm lucky I'm in the position I am to where I can afford to buy healthy food and meal prep every week. And really that's how I eat. If I don't meal prep, I'm not going to eat for the week. So yeah, that's just really how it is. Like, I understand. I don't know about, like, I'm also pretty lucky because I'm on my feet for 8, 10, sometimes more hours a day. And so I'm pretty active in my job. And I understand, like, other people, they have desk jobs and they sit, and that's really what gets you, is you're not being active. But yeah, I hope to try and do like eat with me videos and show like what I eat to actually lose the weight and to keep it off, because I'm not gaining that 76 pounds back. I do not want it back at all. If I can, I'd like to lose 100 pounds. So I'm at the middle of my journey, and yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. I don't know about if I really do go through with it. I don't know how often I'm going to upload, because I'm about to get into a really busy time of the year for my job. So uploads probably won't be every week. They will probably be every month or so. And I'm also moving I'm moving in the middle of May. I moved from California to Florida, and I am going to move back in May because I took up an internship and I've been here almost a year. So I'm going to be moving back at the end of my internship. But just stay tuned. We'll see where this goes. Hopefully I keep up with this. And I would really want to help out other people. So, until next time.